What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Sitting all the way across the city from me this week and every week, he's the king of all VR kings, Soap King himself. Da-da-da-da-da. It's Jeremy King.
Hey, clapping for myself. Yay, yay, yay.
Someone's got to do it.
We keep doing that. We're getting old. We're going to throw out our arms, rotate a cuff, right? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
Is that the spot? Anyway, sitting way over there. Very small introduction. Hey, it's Brian Hall.
Every week on Why We Love PlayStation VR, we dip into the PSVR archive. We pull out a game at random. We dust the blow off of it. We play the crap out of it. We see if it's going to give any love by developers, any updates, any DLC. And then we let you know, the loyal game cats, if it's worth your time. That being said, Jeremy, what game did we decide to play this week?
This week, we did Dead Hungry.
More specifically, PixelJunk Dead Hungry by Q Games Limited, released November 7th, 2017 for $19.99. Just a heads up, it's now $8. It's getting a drastic price reduction, but it's also been on sale even without Plus for as little as $4.
Wow.
Jeremy, what kind of game is PixelJunk Dead Hungry?
I always think job simulator. I don't know what you classify that type of game as. It's like a restaurant hamburger time type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's overcooked on steroids, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or undercooked.
This is gonna be a rough episode. I can feel it already.
Yep.
So just for anyone who's not sure or doesn't remember, man, like the good old PS3 days where PixelJunk was kind of king. Q Games released a series of games called PixelJunk Racers, PixelJunk Monsters, PixelJunk Shooter. There was a bunch of other ones too. Yeah. And these were like the superstars of the PlayStation Network, of the PlayStation Store. Like these were the cool indie, small downloadable titles you could get. And so it's kind of cool that they sort of made a small, cool, independent game for PlayStation VR as well. All right, man. Let's dive into this thing. What are you doing in Dead Hungry?
Yeah, cooking and serving lunch to zombies that are not. I mean, once their hunger is quenched, whatever it might be, they're back to being people again. So they're not really zombies. They're like hungry dead things. I don't know. Right.
They just need a Snickers bar, right? Commercials.
Stop being such a Betty White, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. So most zombie games, you have to kill the zombies. They'll health bar above them. It goes down and down and down, and they die again. You feed them, and their hunger goes down and down and down. They turn into a human being, and they run off all happy like.
A very glossy human being, very glossy and shiny.
Yeah, there's a sheen to everything.
Oh yeah.
Right, but you're working in a food truck.
Yep, right out of a food truck.
Did you play this with the DualShock 4 or the Move controllers?
Move controllers, totally.
See, I almost dismissed the DualShock 4 for this because I was like, how the hell could you play this with a DualShock? It just would be awful.
I dismissed it and didn't even bother trying, to be honest.
I thought in my head I was picturing like reaching out, because this is a game that you need two hands for. You're grabbing things and moving things and doing stuff nonstop. You're a cartoon character,
you're like a Muppet.
Right.
Like, rawr.
The DualShock is actually way more precise. I got to be honest.
Oh, real?
And here's how it works. It all uses head tracking, right? So
okay. And
you do have two hands still. So you look over at the burgers and you hit L2 to grab one with your left hand and R2 to grab one with your right hand. So you look over, boom, boom, and then you look over the grill, boom, boom. One go, and so it's constant like with your triggers, picking up and putting down with both hands. It's a higher learning curve to the DualShock 4. There's something very natural, obviously, about the Move controllers. You just pick things up and put them down. But the DualShock 4 is way more precise for a bunch of reasons. Because this game does actually involve throwing. And I will say, when you throw things out of the truck, you just, while you're holding the thing, you just look and go, boom. And it's got that like Uncharted arc.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna release the trigger, and boom, there it goes.
Do you know how many people had to sweep up after my food truck left because of all the burgers that I missed?
Just scattered around.
Fried fish. What's that? Shrimp? Fried shrimp or something? Yeah.
Big old jumbo shrimp.
All over the floor. Wasted.
Right. So let's get into the meat of this. Zombies are coming at you.
Yep.
You are stuck stationary in a food truck.
Yep.
What kind of things are you making to satiate their hunger?
So you got right to your left, you got your raw burger patties. Then you got like all the condiments that go with it. So lettuce, tomato, cheese, and then the crowns. If you ever worked at McDonald's, the crown of the bun, which is the top.
Wait, wait,
Over
wait,
here,
wait, wait, wait. Did you work at McDonald's?
my first job when I was 15 and a half was McDonald's
This is like
for until about 16, across from Auburn High.
so this. Oh, nice. I know that McDonald's, and so this
Yeah.
trained you for
Oh, I was so
for this
prepared for
episode.
this.
Nice.
Oh, big time. I knew
And
it. It was like being back home. Yeah. Flipping burgers. What my father told me I should do with the rest of my life. No, I'm just kidding.
oh god.
But anyways, so you got all that crap here,
Mhm.
and then in the center of you here is where you'd assemble like your four bottoms. I don't remember what they used to call those for the hamburger buns, but the bottoms of the buns. So you would maybe throw your cheese, however you'd want to put. You got your grill here to the right for your burger buns. You also have frozen pizzas right here that you can grab and put in your oven. That's underneath the burner for the burgers. And then you also have the deep fryer over here to your right with the shrimp and the French fries. And you put the basket down, cook everything, and that's what you're doing.
Okay, so you're deep frying shrimp, you're deep frying French fries, you're cooking
Yep.
pizzas in the oven, and
Yeah.
you're grilling burgers,
Grilling the burgers.
and you're also making sure there's always soda filling up
Making
in the
sure.
cups,
Yep.
right? Because the food will drop that hunger bar down, but the sodas
Hmm.
will slow them down as they come at you. If you
Yeah.
throw them at, they'll actually stop and drink the soda, and then be like,
Yep.
all right, that gives you a couple more seconds to
Give
mess
you a
with.
second. So you got to have a shitload ready because you never know when one of those zombies with the head on fire is going to come by, and you have to give them the drinks to like, psh,
Right.
and then you can throw them the food and they'll eat. I learned that the hard way because I was like, I don't need beverages, so I never filled them up. And then when I saw something with fire and I gave it like food and it was like, I was like, oh shit, I bet you I need the drink. And then that shit fills up slow.
See.
It takes forever to fill up.
I had a totally different gameplay strategy. I think in all the video you're about to see, or that's playing behind us here,
Mhm.
the what I'm constantly doing is just making drinks, and every single time they fill up, I just grab them. I don't even throw them at a zombie. I just throw them ahead of the truck, so that as they're
Yeah.
walking toward me, eventually they'll pick them up and slow them down. It'll just keep the wave back as far as it'll be.
Smart, very smart.
Well,
See, that's your restaurant experience. Just give them drinks; it'll slow them down, right?
God no. So yeah, there's obviously a bunch of different strategies in here.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I don't think they really tell you off the bat. They tell you, the bigger the burger. So if you're putting lettuce and tomato, and then I'm throwing the cheese on it on the grill
Cheese.
so that the cheese melts, right? But making
Oh,
sure
look
it's
at
over there, right?
you!
Very very fancy
Nice.
with my burgers, right?
Yeah,
And if you get a couple patties on each burger, then it's like
yeah.
it's a pretty decent size, and these things get taller and taller, right?
Fuck it. Oh yeah.
Right? And so if you make like a double cheeseburger and
Hmm.
you throw it at a zombie, you can pretty much take them down in one shot.
Yeah.
But man, there are certainly bigger zombies that you have to worry about.
Oh, he's like still hungry. Oh yeah, the big dudes. Yeah, you got to pile up a lot of shit in advance and get it all ready.
Were you
You know.
making crazy ass burgers with like pizza and fries and shrimp and burgers and everything, and just being like, "Here's your giant burger, sir," and just tossing it at them?
I tried some of on accident. I would add a pizza to it. I mean, that wasn't purposeful most of the time. It was by accident, but it was like happy accidents. You know what I mean? Because most of the time they liked it, except when it was burnt. They don't like that shit.
No.
No, not at all. But it doesn't. I would have thought it would have been kind of neat if the burnt stuff reversed, but instead it just is like, "Brr," and they don't like it. Didn't fill up any of their energy you had to get rid of. Correct? It just kind of
Oh, I
they were like,
gotcha.
"Brr."
Yeah.
They didn't like it. I think
Right.
they puke it up or something. I don't know. I was too busy cooking to mind them. I was like constantly looking down. And that's the one thing where the DualShock, I wouldn't see the advantage because at a certain point, I'm opening the oven, reaching over for pizzas, not even looking, sometimes throwing a hamburger bun in there. But, at least you get a shot because I would be over here with the fry later and putting stuff on the grill, and I'd be like going like this and not looking and throwing it over. And half the time, yeah, you would throw the wrong thing on the grill, but you could just pick it up again. But yeah, it was one of those games where at first you're like, do, and then next thing you know, you're like going like this and prepping stuff and throwing it in the fucking corner to get it ready to throw at these zombies. I know you can throw them out on the road and they, come across it and whatnot, but I always found bad luck with that because I would be like, eh, and then the thing would be like over that way because it just didn't throw right. And not only that, if they don't like pretty much walk in a very close proximity to that burger, whatever it is you threw, they'll pass right by it. Of course, if I threw something burnt, they'd land on it and eat it instantly because I just wanted it out of my way. But I can definitely see the DualShock being more precise because I had a lot of issues with my hands because of all that quick, fast movement around.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would grab the wrong thing even though you weren't grabbing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like it was very quick. But it was, even though all the rapid movements, the tracking was still pretty decent, for especially for how frantically, you would move at points. But yeah.
Yeah, occasionally I'd be picking up the wrong thing, or it's like, like you said, sometimes you'll grab a pizza and accidentally put it on a burger, and you're like, crap, that's not what I meant to do at all.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, I thought the tracking was pretty good. I think it worked fine.
Yeah.
I do wish there was some sort of like hybrid, and I guess I didn't push every single button on the controller, but I do wish there was. So it's possible that this exists. I highly doubt it though. How cool would it be if they kind of implemented the throwing from the DualShock into the Move controllers? So it's like you're doing this whole thing, and then once you get the burger in your hand, you hold down the Move button or something, and then it gives you that arc, and you're just like, boom, right there.
Right.
Throw it right there. Down.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Because the end dancing bossy thingies or the big guys you would have to sometimes fight, especially in the beginning. Like, you don't know how many burgers and how many things I made until I realized, oh, that's as far as they go. I got to throw it to them now, and I kept missing, like it just, and I would try to just lightly toss and it would land here. Or if I tried to be more aggressive, it would go over there. And only 1 out of 3, I would say, would actually hit it and they'd eat it,
Yeah.
But I did have that.
So frustrating too when you miss when you have taken all this time because nothing cooks immediately. You throw a burger on a grill and you got to watch that little meter go up, and you're just like, this is so slow, right? So if you accidentally throw a burger out that you just waited all this time to make, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, and everything's got a certain time. Like the pizzas seem pretty decent. Certain things are faster than others, but it's kind of neat when you throw a bunch of shit on the grill. They're all starting to be ready at the same time. The pizza's ready. These 3 burgers are ready. You didn't put the cheese on the buns yet. You got you know what I mean? And you're like, ah. Sometimes I'd panic and take things off of the fry-later or whatever the hell you want to call it, the grill, before they were done, just to throw it and give them something to munch on for a second before they're like, not good, or whatever they would say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, so one of the things that happens in this game is there's 30 stages. In every stage, you get ranked by score, but the score is determined by, I think, the top 5 best burgers you made. And so
I was trying to figure out how that scoring was made, because sometimes I get 1 star, some I get 3, and I was like, I never really sat down to do the math and figure out how I got the points that I got.
Yeah.
Because I was just wanting to go to the next level.
Yeah, it's this balance between like making sure you, like, again, the normal zombies, you really only need to make a double cheeseburger, and so there's no point in making like this giant massive burger, wasting a ton of time and throwing it at them. But that is how you're going to get 3 stars. So if you got to save one of those until the very end and make sure that as they're coming at you like in big swarms, you have something like a backup burger like that to toss at them. And so as far as I know, the score is determined by the 5 best burgers you made during the round. And then, of course, if you get enough points, you get 3 stars. And 3 stars gives you a cool item.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that cool item just gets put up in your truck somewhere. It's like maybe like I don't know. There's so many different things you get.
It's like a daggerish thing stuck in your side. I actually a few times grabbed it and tried throwing it at the zombies. Nothing happened. You get a little toaster.
Yep.
At one point. Mm-hmm.
All sorts of little things you get, and it all starts populating your food truck. And as you said, when things get hectic, you're just grabbing shit from everywhere. You're just like, oh, here's the mustard bottle and the ketchup bottle. I'm just throwing them at zombies because I'm just giving them anything. They'll eat everything.
They'll eat the clock that's in front of you too. They'll eat that.
Yep. They'll eat the boombox that's playing the soundtrack of the game.
Yeah.
Did you see that there's separate tapes? The separate tapes that you can.
I saw the tape. I didn't change. I should have, because I think one of them was Hatebreed, and I'm not a fan of them.
I mean, the music was a little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Josta 14. Prior to that, Jamie Josta. Then ended up the singer Hatebreed.
Huh.
But we played some shows with them. I wasn't a fan.
I mean,
personality.
it is what it is, but but it's also the
Yeah,
sound. I think they tried to make it sound like it was coming out of a boombox, and so the
yeah,
sound quality was fucking terrible on the
yeah.
music. So, dude, I just left the sound effects pumped all the way up, put the music all the way down, and then just told Alexa to play something good. You know,
Oh,
so
there you go.
so
Nice.
and so that's how I was rocking today. I think it was an outcome the wolves by Rancid. That's what I was that's what I was playing this game to today.
Yeah.
Um, but the point was that when you get 3 stars, when you actually manage to get 3 stars, you're getting all these things. But the funny thing is if you grab one of these things like the dagger
Hmm.
and you throw it out there, or the ceramic cat or whatever, you throw it out there, zombies eat it. That's it, man. You get to the next level. It's not in your truck anymore.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
You actually have to
Really?
replay the level and get 3 stars again if you want that item
Right.
back.
Well,
Yeah,
that's kind of neat, I guess.
I thought
But
that was
hey,
kind of funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shit.
and so
I
so
didn't
I
notice the vent. There's like a vent too you can turn on with the little fan.
yeah.
And all it seemed like it did is make my burgers smoke more. And I don't know if that was my imagination or not. But yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
I'm sure there's a ton of little secrets in this game, things that I've never actually noticed. Because
Hmm.
again, it's too frantic to notice these interesting small details.
Right? It glitched out on me and I ended up on the outside of the truck one time in front of the thing where the zombies came. And there were no zombies there. It was just the end body. It totally glitched out.
And
And I was like, wow.
holding
I
options
was,
didn't put you back in the truck.
no, it kept just doing that like sound that PlayStation does when it knows it fucked up, that sparkle sound,
Oh yeah,
you know? Yeah.
interesting. That's really strange.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see. As you progress through this thing, conditions start appearing right before
Oh,
some
yeah.
levels.
Yep.
What
Like
kind of
some of them were like, don't no meat on the burgers,
yeah
in other words, others were no vegetables on the burgers, that kind of a thing.
yeah or zombies move faster,
Yep.
right? And so these are all things you have to account for, which is so stressful because I think the game's hard from level one.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when they're like, oh, by the way, you don't have any meat and the zombies are faster, I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? Like, I got
Right.
nothing. I'm like, I have no idea how to beat this level.
I almost wish they left the stuff in. So if they said no meat, I wish they didn't remove the meat as an option to accidentally cook. You know what I mean? I wish they left it there because you could accidentally grab. No, I don't want that. I just think it would add to the element of, or getting your brain to realize no lettuce and tomato. So when you're grabbing everything and throwing it on there, you don't want to put lettuce and tomato, and you might fuck up and put it on there and throw it out there and increase their health. But no,
Oh, there you go.
they eliminated it for you. So they probably figured out that would be just mean
It would
because
be
this
mean.
thing's already mean
It would
enough.
be mean because I wouldn't be able to handle that, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It'd be too
right.
much.
Yeah.
So and there were certain times, so anything that you cook, and it's maddening. I mean, this game is so maddening because it's hard enough in the first place, but on top of
Yeah.
that, it's like if the second I grab those sodas and toss them out, if I don't hit the button to start pouring more sodas, I'm
You're
like
done.
I'm just never I'm just at no point does my brain click and go, oh wait, I forgot I need to hit those buttons to do sodas. The second you take the burgers off of the grill, you got to put 3 more burgers back on the grill because
Immediately.
you're just not going to remember. And then next thing you know, you look over and you're like, I've got nothing. I've got literally
Yeah.
nothing to feed these things. And so
And that's happened many times.
oh,
Oh
so
yeah.
many times, so many times, and to the point where I actually had like I was reciting things in my head. I was like burgers, pizzas, sodas, fries, burgers, pizzas, sodas, fries, burgers, pizzas, sodas, fries, and I was doing this like ridiculous OCD mantra, right?
Yeah.
And looking, and it's like, and if I'm not, and if you stop and go, I don't have anything to do, then you probably fucked up.
That's funny. I used to do the same with this goddamn cardio routine. That was like they had you doing like, swinging your arm, and it'd be like, you know, this one should undercut, and I'd have to recite it in my head because the dude on the thing would be like doing it like nothing, and I'd be like, I'm writing my name. What am I doing? So I'd have to like recite, undercut, like, or I'd fuck up and I would do the same over and over and over again just to keep it in online.
Right.
You know.
Right. So when those conditions appear and things like the second if you put that next round of burgers on, and one of the conditions is like things respawn slower or things respawn faster, which is always really nice to see. But when things respawn slower, sometimes you'll literally just be waiting for ingredients to appear so you can start cooking them. Like
Yep. Everything's
maddening.
all set. You got a bunch of shit, and you're like, "Come on, hurry up!" And they're all just coming towards you. Yeah, yeah. It can be very stressful. That was the biggest stress, is waiting for the respawning food so you could start to cook it.
Right.
You're like, "Ah, come on, Christ!"
It's super
Shit.
stressful.
Oh, big time.
What did you think of the overall presentation of this thing?
I mean, for what it was, and for, what it presented, I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought the weakest point is when they turned back into people. That was very awkward, because even as the zombies, they were okay for what the game was. The aesthetics just worked overall for, where you're sitting or standing. And then, once they're coming at you, once they're like, "Oh, I'm full," or whatever they say, they look very out of place. They look like they're just very shiny, coated in polyurethane, and nothing else really looked that way. So I think it's fine. It worked well for what it was. I still didn't. The outside environments were pretty stale. It was the same place every time you went to. It was like a weird food festival with like a zombie in one like booth. You always had that other zombie outside your window, right over here to your left, and that was it. So I mean, I guess I wish that it had more environment, but you're not even paying attention to the environments. That's the thing. Your little food truck is all you notice, and if there's somebody in front of you or not. So the background, while yeah, it'd be neat if it was different, I barely even noticed it half the time because it was just so frantic.
It just seems strange to me. It's totally frantic, and I get that. We were just having this conversation about Pistol Whip on Gamescast Live. It's like, oh, things are so frantic that like you shouldn't even be concerned about the backgrounds. I'm like, but I am. But I am. It's part
Yeah.
of the overall presentation for me. It's part of the overall package. And with this, I just felt like you're in a food truck and you're moving from one place to another. You don't have like a little stand, a concession stand set up somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be different,
Yeah.
But if you're in a food truck, man, it's like start in like a rural neighborhood and then move to kind of a commercial
Yeah, that's
district, and then go
true.
to an industrial zone, and then finally, near the end, you finally get to the big amusement park and give me like
Right.
this sense of progression, like I'm actually going somewhere in this truck. And
I've made it.
it doesn't have to be 30 levels of different environments. It just give me like a new environment every 6 or 7 levels to make me go,
Mhm.
oh yeah, okay, this is different. That's good.
I've made progress. Yeah, because that's one thing. You don't have a sense of progress except for when you're starting it up and you select which level you're on. But
Right.
you visually can't notice any kind of progress whatsoever.
Right, and there's not like a ton of zombie types either, right? You mentioned the
No.
ones that you need to throw the drink at them because they're on fire,
Fire. Yeah.
and then there's a normal zombie type, and there's a fat zombie type, and then
The
the
fat ones.
boss isn't like, I think it's kind of like the same boss all 3 times, right? There's a
All
boss at
three.
10,
Yeah.
stage 10, 20, and 30,
Hmm.
and it's very very similar each time. And it's just like,
And then
man,
the little kids towards the end, right? Or whenever
oh
the
yeah, yeah,
big ones. Yeah.
yep.
That's about it. There's not much variety.
Not a lot of variety. So I don't know. I just wish that was kind of worked on a little bit, I guess.
I can see that, especially for that initial $20 price point.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. That definitely has a bigger impact.
I think we're getting to the point where we need to rate this sucker. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's time to throw some burgers.
All right,
Yeah,
let's do
they're
it.
ready.
What's our rating scale?
One is burgers, triple decker burger. Fucking, oh, I'll eat every bit of it. So goddamn good. Best thing. Go get this game. It'll taste wonderful if you eat it. Two would be like, wait for a discount. Look for a Groupon. See if you can take some friends. Share a basket of fries at the restaurant. You won't be that disappointed.
Keep on.
Spending a little less money. And three is just, make somebody cook for you. Heat up a microwave dinner. Don't bother going out. Don't get this dinner. You'll throw up and get food poisoning. So stay away. So what do you rate this sucker, Brian
Alright.
Paul?
I totally forgot to put my third finger up. I got distracted for just a second. I was like, oh, he's saying 3 now. I missed it.
Yeah.
This is okay. I mean, this is kind of a tough one, I guess, man. Right? Because I gotta be honest. I had a lot of fun playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's super crazy frantic. This game is not for everybody. It's for a very specific type of person who likes a real challenge. And I think if it was $20, this would be like a very very weak 2, right? But I kind of think that it's sort of still a 2, but not because of the price anymore. It's a 2 because it's just not for everybody. And if you enjoy, just mass chaos and all this micromanaging, and remember to like check these things off your list every 5 seconds. You know, do you get satisfaction out of like the Overcooked style of games where you're just like trying to manage chaos? Which this is what we actually always said in the restaurant industry. It doesn't matter what restaurant you go to. If it's a busy night, if it's like a Friday or Saturday night, it's like all you're doing is managing the chaos.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like I did that for so long as a job that like I don't really want to do that in a game.
Yeah.
I had fun with this, and I think the 3-star challenge thing, part of it, that part of it where it's you're actually the progression I felt was by accumulating all of these items and populating the food truck with them and being like, look, I have that and I have that and I have that because I got 3 stars. Look, I got everything, and it's just and that was a good feeling. But man, it's just if it wasn't for this episode, I don't know if I'd ever play this game again.
Sure.
Right? It's just not one of those where I'm like, I really, really can't wait to get back in there. And
Yeah.
you know?
You know what I haven't played in a while? Dead Hungry.
Right.
PixelJunk.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And if it wasn't for somebody recommending it, sorry, I didn't actually check to see who recommended it. Then I probably would never played it again.
Yeah.
That being said, for $8, this game's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, even though it's chaotic and frantic and whatever, and stressful and really stressful. But that's why it's a 2, because I just don't think that it's for everybody. And I think you know already. You're watching this gameplay and you're just like, nope, not for me. Or you're like, oh, I think I could probably do that. That'd be fun. So that's why it's a 2. It's just it's not a standout, awesome title, but for $8, I did have more fun with it than I remembered having. So I don't know. I'm so middle of the road on this thing, but I'm so happy they lowered the price. That's for sure.
Me too, knowing now that it was 20 initially. Shit.
Yeah.
I would have had a whole different thought on that.
So what did you rate this?
So where, with you, it's definitely a game where I'd seen it. I knew what the game was about, and I would automatically say, no, that's not a game for me. But the unique circumstance I'm in, I try these games that normally I wouldn't be into for us to have a discussion. And then a lot of times I find out, well, proven again, VR does make everything better.
Very true.
So you find enjoyment in these games. So this type of game, I never played the Job Simulator or any of those other games, or Vacation Simulator, or any of those ones where you're stationary and constructing shit and throwing shit to slow down hordes of whatever coming at you. This was my first of that type. And I must admit that I enjoyed what I played of it, and price definitely had a big factor in that, because if I paid 20 for it, I definitely would have thought, what the fuck? I would have been, I think, less forgiving on the score.
Yeah.
But for what the game is, I think for certain age brackets, this game is probably like really fun and a blast. We've been there, done that type of thing. So there's not much with this game to do. So I think for the initial $8, it's less than a movie ticket, you know what I mean? And it's entertaining. So I don't think I will ever play it again. Is it a game that I think in years, when my kids are old enough to try VR, that I'd have them try out? Yeah, I think they'd have fun with it, being when they're age appropriate for it. I think they'd enjoy it. I thought it handled the movements of, whoever's playing it rapidly, that it was on. The tracking worked well. They had a lot of stuff to keep your mind occupied while you're cooking the food. Visually, it is what it is. It wasn't the worst looking game I've ever seen. And certainly no motion sickness with this title.
No motion at all.
If anybody's concerned with that, except when you glitch out and end up on the outside of the food cart, which was really neat, but that made me like almost fall. Actually, when it happened, it was almost like me in the game, like they kind of like went like that. And I was like, oh, like I felt like it was really fucked up. And then I was on the outside of the thing. I'm like, oh, this is neat, but that was the only glitch. So I'm going to say it's a week 2 for me as well. And only because, it's not a game I'll ever play again. Did I hate it? No, I enjoyed the time I had with it, but I'll never play it again. Yeah. And for the $8, it was fine. It didn't break the bank. I'm not like craving a refund or anything like that. I'm not going to write Sony. But yeah, I just wish there could have been a little bit more effort in the environments too. Um, a couple of things might have made it a stronger two, but yeah, I mean, it opened me up to now be curious about the other type of games like this, like the job simulator and all that jazz or whatever. But yeah, so week two.
We should probably mention there is a platinum trophy in this game, so that's really nice. Um, and the platinum trophy list is kind of fun. It's like make a burger with this, and this, and it's like like some of the things that you unlock throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Or make a burger that's a meter tall, that kind of thing.
yeah,
So some fun trophies to unlock. Platinum trophy, which you don't always see in a game that's $8.
yeah.
Also shout out. I did check while Jeremy was giving his rating. Johnny Moles recommended this game over and over and over. Sometimes apparently I don't always notice these things, but I noticed that he'd mentioned it more than once. On our Theseus episode, he asked for it. On our Cave Digger episode, he asked for it. On our Hypervoid episode, he asked for it, and then most recently on last week's Beat Saber episode, he asked for it. And I got to tell you, that's fucking dedication. And so,
Johnny Moles, you asked for it, you got it.
Awesome. So a fairly weak two, but still, still decent, especially for the price.
Yeah.
I think we got to move on. So if you guys let us know what you thought of Dead Hungry in the comments below. Also, let us know what other games you want us to play. If we haven't reviewed the game you want us to play, all you got to do is ask us about 4 times on four different episodes, and we'll probably get to it.
All right.
So, shout out to Johnny Moles for another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. My name is Brian Paul,
And I'm Jeremy King.
and we'll see you
Next week.